Hey everyone! So I got my first Scrawlr Box subscription in a few weeks ago, and I've already opened it because I was too excited to wait and film it. So this will be the second time I've opened it, but I'm going to show you what's inside before my video of what I created with it. So opening the box, the first thing I found was you have a catalog, a little magazine, and it gives you a little bit of background story of the featured artist, the art supplies, how to use them, some tips about the box, and what happened in the previous month and what supplies that you got in the previous box. The next you get a print of the featured artist. Her Instagram is @ArtFusion, and her name is Angelica. I love her artwork. Honestly, her stuff is beautiful. You get the small menu. Then the first thing we have is watercolor paper. You get 8 pieces of paper, and it's a cold press. The next thing I have is the Castiel watercolor marker. We have a brush tip, and then you have a bullet nib. I was trying to get my camera to focus up on it. I'm still kind of new at recording things, so pardon me. Next you have the Faber-Castell in cadmium yellow in the marker. And these markers, they are water-based, light, fast, water-based ink. So next we have the Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. We have it in red, green, and then you have a brown. The pencils with an extra thick 5.3 millimeter lead. So they're ideal for covering large surfaces. I have the smaller lead and I like them, but I feel like these didn't break easily like the others do. And then we have a Derwent sketching pencil in HB. Next you have the Pro Art Polar Series 31 round brush in a size 6. It has white nylon bristles. It is for watercolor. And then our candy for the month is a banana split eclair. And our Scrawlr challenge prompt word this month is daydreamer. So the next thing I'm going to do is swatch out all these colors on a piece of paper that I'm going to be using so I can see how they work. And then I'm going to add water to them also, even the pencil. I want to know if the pencil bleeds, moves around, because when you're dealing with water, you kind of want to know that. You don't want to muddy up your piece. First I do a line and then do a zigzag. I do a little circle and then I do a nice little blend at the end. I really don't have a rhyme or reason why I do it that way. That's just how I do it, just to get the feel of the pencil or marker. Now I did rub my finger across it. You can see the oils on my skin do rub it. So I know it's going to move a little bit with just the oil on my skin. And then I will go down through all the watercolor pencils and the markers. Now the pencils I really enjoy. I don't care for them on a cold pressed paper. It's a personal preference. I like hot pressed paper when I'm doing primarily watercolor pencils because I don't like the texture, but you might like the texture. So it's like I said, it's a personal preference. But these pencils are really, really creamy. I really enjoyed them, and I honestly, if I buy more watercolor pencils, do the thicker lead. If I ordered more of these, I would. I can talk, I promise. I will probably replace watercolor pencils with this brand and this size because I liked how they worked on the paper. Now, the markers, on the other hand, I love. They are so squishy. They are very moist. The brush nib is probably my favorite, and they blend very well. Now, I'm adding the water, like I said, on the pencil to see, and it does blend a little bit. I thought I could use it for my advantage in my art piece, but didn't work out the way I wanted it, and I had to improvise and, yeah, change it and do some other things. You will see. And again, my phone's going off. I'm so sorry. So the green, the red, and the brown pencils are great. They blend fantastic. There's still texture coming through the watercolor. Again, personal preference. I don't care for it very much, but you might like it. But they still blend beautifully. I have used watercolor pencils before that do not blend very well, and they are a pain in the butt to get them to blend out into a watercolor. Now these markers, I'm going to rave about them more. Blend and bloom beautiful. The yellow, you can see that it's blending, but when I start touching that blue, it blooms out so gorgeous. I'm like in love with these markers. The blue, how it just moves down the paper, is just, that is something I look for. I love watercolor that actually moves across the paper. Again, I'm so sorry about my phone. But I like watercolor that moves across the paper. The pencils did great. They still show through when I swipe across them with water. That is honestly to be expected with watercolor pencils, at least in my experience. I really enjoyed these. Can't wait to show you what I'm doing in the next video. It's going to be interesting. I tried to stick with just the art supplies in the box. That didn't turn out the way I wanted it. So I had to add some of my own art supplies. It was nothing against these art supplies. It was more of my mistake in planning. And I kind of got a little too enthusiastic with all the colors. But you'll see. So the next video that's going to be posted is going to be what I create with these art supplies. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.